Good luck, Carter. Carter? Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Doctor, if you have a moment.
Absolutely. At this point, most of my patients are sleepwalkers anyway, and they're not getting any worse. Unfortunately, they're not getting any better either.
Who's there?
How are the infected, Doctor?
They're stable, but that's not exactly a good thing. Nurses make sure they're fed and cleaned. That's all we can do for now.
That's better than nothing.
It's like a ward full of coma patients, except they keep talking to themselves.
Any chance of finding a cure?
We've got a variety of tests running at the moment, but our first attempts were not pretty.
So it's not as simple as scraping the black goo off their faces.
We tried that. You don't want to see what's underneath.
What's happening to the sleepwalkers anyway?
We're still trying to figure that out. Their autonomic system thinks it's in a coma, but something else is influencing their physical actions.
You mean they're getting orders from somewhere?
Only on a very basic level, like how they move toward the alien tower you saw.
Any idea how they're getting these commands?
We think it has to do with the silicoid substance on their faces. It might be functioning like the Mosaic control centers we find in Outsiders.
All the more reason to track down Mosaic and put a stop to it. I suppose there's not much more you can do for now.
We'll keep on testing. Until then, all we can do is keep them comfortable.
Another infected. William, could I have a word?
We need to talk about that test of yours.
My most sincere apologies for what happened at your screening, William. But as you can see, we have a more pressing matter at the moment. This man is infected.
That's never happened in the base before. Or is this another unexpected side effect of your test, Doc?
Nine. I'm quite sure this is from an outside source, but I need your help to find out where, and to do it without causing a panic.
This agent's turning into a sleepwalker, and I've seen how that goes. Unless you found a cure, I don't see how you're gonna help.
It's not a cure, but it may be the first step.
Well, what is it?
I have discovered a way to detect sleepwalker infections at an early stage, before the symptoms present. It will let us treat the subjects earlier, or at least get a better understanding of their conversion process.
Another test, Doctor?
Not to fear, William. This time you will be the one performing the test. And quietly, if at all possible.
The last thing we need is an infection scare.
Precisely. Thankfully, the detective will find any infected within a large area. Here, check in operations, engineering, the main lab, the briefing room, and the hangar. That should cover the base.
And if I find any other infected?
Send them to see Dr. Hera. I will meet you there, and perhaps we can help these men.
During the screening, it felt like my head was going to explode. Any idea what happened?
I have no idea. Perhaps it was some resonance from your earlier exposure to the alien artifact. Tell me, how did it feel?
Like someone was inside my skull using a hammer, trying to break free. It was all I could do to stay conscious.
Yes. And you said something, too. Your name? Perhaps your rank as well?
Hell if I know. For a few seconds, it was all just a red haze.
Well, I am glad you are with us again, my friend.
You said that noise during the screening was something from Mosaic. How did you discover that?
Dr. Veer has been examining the device removed from our captive infiltrator. It would appear that this is how they receive commands from their Mosaic network.
So they're radio-operated?
Not quite, but it seems to give them a sort of subconscious connection to a larger command hierarchy.
And you used the command for attack. You couldn't pick something safer, like dance?
Our control is too crude for specific commands, only general urges. When violence is a very common response, William.
I'll be on my way.
As you say. But if you would like, I have some experiments I could perform on the...
No. I'll check for infected, but I've spent quite enough time as your guinea pig for today, Doc. No infected here, at least.
I've nearly found him, Myron. He's so close. Put me on this mission and I'll hand you his head on a platter.
We're sending Carter after Axis. This is what he does.
Then send us out together.
I keep thinking that elevator's gonna open up.
I want you to check and double-check everything. If you went over it, go over it again. And again, just to be sure. Carter,
What's that?
you'll never believe
Just
what we found.
checking the area for
Did
safe
Barnes
working
find you yet,
conditions.
Carter?
All clear.
He was looking for you earlier.
We caught a spy sneaking into the Avenger. A damn spy. Here.
Shit. Did he do any damage?
Don't think so. We're double-checking. But I think we got him before he could do much.
Another outsider infiltrator. God damn it.
Not an outsider. A Russian. We get attacked by aliens, and we still have to keep our eyes open for Reds. Those commie bastards never give up.
A Russian. How did he get in?
Been down here for a while. He got himself assigned to the hangar before the attack.
And he managed to evade capture this long? I'd like to talk to this fella. Where is he?
In the foreman's office, right over there. Faulke wants him debriefed before we shoot him.
Here to talk with the Russian? Seems like a lost cause to me, but good
Почему
luck.
ты здесь? Вранье еще. Пытание?
Ну, если ты это хочешь, я думал, мы поговорим. Я думал, что найду русского здесь. Как вы узнали об этом месте?
Мы все видим. Нас здесь больше, чем ты даже представляешь. Ваша охрана просто причальная.
Да, я начинаю соглашиваться с вами.
Вы убьете меня?
Я не знаю, если вы заметили, но холодная война отметнена. У нас гораздо серьезнее гроза. И у вас тоже.
Пришельцы? Да, я слыхал эту историю. Вы думаете, что я совершенно глупой?
Слушай, я был там, вверху. Все правда. Половина мира мертвая, а другая половина зараженная. Не может быть, что только нас ударили. Я обещаю, что твоим друзьям сестер так же плохо, как и здесь. Но если какой-либо из них все еще жив...
Да это просто смешно. Как ты можешь это доказать, а? Голоса по радио и подделанные фотки? Скажи мне, почему я должен верить в твою сказку?
Убийство вас будет траты. Кто знает, как долго ты здесь скрывался? У тебя есть таланты, нам нужны агенты. Эти посторонние не только американская проблема.
Ты думаешь, это сработает? Ха. Ты слабый. Вы все слабые.
Даю тебе предложение. Я пошлю тебя на палубу. Сам можешь убедиться. Если то, что говорю, верно, вы работаете на меня. Если нет, вы можете отбить на Кубу.
И если я не позволяю себя обманывать?
Что ты заботишься? У вас будет оружие. Вы будете отсюда. Так или иначе, вы не будете моей проблемой.
Ладно, дай мне увидеть этих пришельцев для себя.
Довольно иметь вас на борту.
Hope you don't mind me listening. Did the right thing.
That commie is something, but I think he's gonna come around.
You can't trust him, Carter.
Well, it's humans against aliens right now, not Americans against Russians. I need someone to take him out to see what the aliens have done firsthand.
If you say so, I'll set up a recon mission. Let's just hope he remembers who the good guys are.
Heard about your little welcome home party, Carter. Glad to see you're still in one piece.
If we make it through this.
Don't even start.
Oh, really?
Agent, you need to report to the infirmary.
What? But I feel fine.
Don't argue with me. Just report to the infirmary now. What have you got on the drawing board today, Doc?
Oh, the usual. A few weapons you brought in, some subsystems for the Avenger, and a couple of side projects for when we rebuild society.
Got any new weapons for the field?
Murphy and I have had a lot of luck with what you've recovered, but it's not exactly easy to hybridize their designs with our own.
Seemed to work well enough for the Avenger.
To be perfectly honest, we couldn't have done that without Dr. Weir's genius. Although, he seems to have some ethical disagreements with munitions development.
How's the Avenger coming?
Slowly, but surely. Dr. Weir's been installing the Vengate, and considering the stresses the Avenger would face, we had to reinforce its hull significantly.
I'm still impressed it can get off the ground at all.
Isn't Dr. Dresner's omni-propulsion system astounding? In fact, if we could channel its energy into a single target, I suspect we could achieve a kinetic impact equivalent to...
Snap out of it, Doc. One thing at a time. It's a bit early to talk about rebuilding society, but I'm curious to see what you got.
It's nothing much, but, well, I've been examining what little we could recover from the outsider seeds. Imagine if we could replicate them.
That would certainly make it easier to rebuild, all right.
Yes, indeed. Why, America could use them to build refugee shelters, revitalize devastated areas, maybe even expand and colonize into ex-Soviet territory.
I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself.
Of course, other nations may mistake this for continued alien attack, but the great thing about these seeds is that they could create bunkers and military fortifications, as well as...
Doc.
Oh, sorry.
I've got other business to take care of. Good luck, Doc.
Yes, of course.
Well, doctors, got yourselves a new toy?
I assure you, the Elerium coil transfer rifle is no toy. What I mean to say is that we are testing a potential weapon for Mr. Barnes.
Don't we already have access to the Outsider's weaponry? Have you improved on it?
There is always room for improvement, Carter. Always a smoother transfer mechanism, or a more advantageous dispersal pattern to search for.
And you've just gotta find it, don't you?
Or die trying. So to speak.
I don't know. It's gonna be hard to fit that into a holster.
Yes, very funny. But once we test the fundamentals, we can work on the miniaturization.
And it'd still be useful?
Oh yes. By combining our ballistics know-how with the enemy's energy weapons, we are on the cusp of a new horizon in weaponry.
Combining alien technology and our own. Interesting. How does this monstrosity work?
It's very simple, really. Imagine a Tesla coil, only with its voltage focused through a charged Elerium ballistic delivery system.
In English?
It's a lightning cannon.
I can see how that would be useful. You need any help testing it out?
We were hoping you would ask. Our usual assistant seems to have disappeared again. Not literally disappeared, mind you. No, of course not. That never happens.
You were saying?
Yes, the machinery is in position. Just press the button and stand clear. And try not to disappear.
That's all I need to know.
Yes, I'm sure you will be a great help. Only appropriate that a field agent be involved. And all that.
If you'd be so kind as to press the button on the device.